Module 1, Introduction to Algorithms. This class, I plan to give you 5 modules, total 5 modules. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. All right. Part A, explain the syllabus and understand problem solving. Yeah. So module 1, we will have four parts, A, B, C, D. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let me explain the syllabus first. Yeah. The main items, I want to explain. All right. First, let's look at the academic calendar. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So there is a spring break. Yeah. First, I want to look at the spring break. 1 week. Yeah, this week. After that, we will not have other holidays. Yeah. So we have one holiday at the beginning of the semester. Then after that, spring break. Then no other holidays. Yeah. All right. So then let's look at the 2 tests for this class. Yeah. The first one, midterm. Yeah. I said the time of the midterm right before the spring break. The week right before the spring break. Yeah. All right. And the midterm, I make it online. Yeah. Yeah. There are 2 reasons. First, we can save 1 lecture session. Yeah. Yeah, because in order to cover more materials, so I want to save some time. So we can save 1 class session. Second, give you more time. Yeah. Reduce your pressure. Yeah. So when you work at home, so here, from Thursday to Sunday, a little less than 4 days. Yeah. Because Thursday, I set a starting time after our class time. Because we need to have a regular class, right? Thursday. Regular class, I may do review. Yeah. Yeah. I need to give you a review session. Okay? Yeah. So then after the class, then you can find assignments in Canvas. So then the deadline, the end of Sunday. Yeah. So you should have plenty of time. Yeah. That's the midterm. Yeah. Final, in person, in this classroom. Yeah. So you have to come here, use 2 hours from 5:30 to 7:30. 2 hours to complete. Yeah. Complete. So actually, later I will explain the structure of the test. The structure of these 2 tests, the same as our homework assignments. So our homework assignments will be used to help you prepare for the 2 tests. Yeah. Yeah. So when I talk about homework assignments, so I will connect them to these 2 tests. Yeah. All right, so you just pay attention to the dates of these 2 tests. Yeah. All right. Next, I want to explain 2 homework assignments. Here you can see each one corresponds to one of the 2 tests. Yeah. Homework assignment number 1 corresponds to midterm. Homework assignment number 2 corresponds to final. Yeah. All right. Each homework assignment, based on the question types, I split into 2 parts. Part A and part B. Part A, 10 questions. And they are concept questions. Okay, yeah, concept question. Yeah. Part B, 15 computation questions. Each question 4 points. Yeah. So total 100 points. Yeah. 4 points each. Both part A, part B. All right. Part A, the question types. Types. In part A, yeah, checking your understanding of the concepts. Multiple choice. First type, second type, true or false. Third type, short answers. Okay? Yeah. No computation questions. Yep. Yeah. So, but short answer, you may need to do some relatively simple computations. Yeah. Simple computations. Yeah. All right. So that's the part A. Part B. Sorry, because part B. Computation questions. Okay. Yeah. All right. Computation questions, I want to split into 2 parts. 2 parts. All right. The first part, basic computation questions. Basic computation question. Second part, challenging. Challenging questions. Okay. So, oh, sorry. Yeah, very sensitive. Yeah, I need to double click. Yeah. All right. Basic computation questions, 12 out of 14. Challenging questions, 3 out of 15. Sorry, 15. Yeah. 12 out of 15. Yeah. Give you 3 challenging questions. Yeah. Yeah. Very hard. Yeah. But 3. 3. Okay? All right. Then, for these 2 types of questions, basic, you only need to give me the answers. Okay? Answers is enough. Answers. Yeah. But if you want to get partial credit, yeah, because answers, if you get it wrong, you won't get partial credit. Okay? So, but I give you a chance to get partial credit. Partial credit, you put some main work. Yeah. Main work. Yeah. Not all the details, you know, important details. Yeah. Main part of your work to earn partial credit. Yeah. So that's for the basic questions. Challenging, you need to give me the solution. Solutions. Solutions means all the details. Yeah. Yeah. You need to provide all the details. Yeah. If you only give me answers, if you only give me your answers, even the correct answers, you can only get 1 point out of 4 points. 1 out of 4. The details accounts for 3 points. Correct answer only accounts 1 of the 4 points. Very little. Okay? Yeah, but because detail is important. That's for the last 3 challenging questions. For the first 12, yeah, it's different. First 12, yeah, this way. Yeah. All right. That's the basic structure of each homework assignment. Then, our midterm and the final, the question types, the formats, same as these 2 homework assignments. Okay? Part A, Part B. Concept questions, computation questions, basic computation questions, challenging computation questions. Same. Yeah. Yeah. Even the content of the questions similar from those 2 homework assignments. Even the content, I modify. Okay? Basically, what I will do, I modify the original homework questions. Yeah. But the way I do the modification, non-trivial. Okay? I change conditions here and there. You know. Yeah. But the original questions, if you understand them well, yeah, you can pretty much, you're halfway toward the answers, solutions of those 2 tests. Halfway. Yeah. The basic methods, the basic methods, similar methods. Yeah. But you need to do some non-trivial work because only halfway. You need to complete the remaining half by your own understanding, your problem-solving skills, and you need to do some meaningful work, yeah, to complete the remaining half. Non-trivial work. Yeah, non-trivial. Yeah. All right. That's the 2 homework assignments. Then, quizzes. Quizzes, I plan to give you a total 6 quizzes. 6 quizzes. Okay? All right. And, but we only take 4 out of 6. We drop 2 lowest scores. Okay? Yeah. So give you some room for, yeah, so relatively poor performance. Okay? You have some room. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Then, the quiz format. Same as this part A. Okay? Yeah. Actually, the quiz, these 6 quizzes, we target the part A part. Yeah. Targeting part A of homework assignments and the tests. Yeah. Concept questions, 10 concept questions. The question types, multiple choice, true and false, short answers. Yeah. Yeah. Quizzes. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And the quizzes, I will run quizzes. Canvas. Canvas quizzes. Canvas quizzes. Yeah. So I set up quizzes in Canvas. Yeah. Yeah. I enter the answers. Yeah. Then the grading using the Canvas automatic grading tools. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I do not do the grading. Yeah. So the Canvas does the grading. Yeah. After you submit, you can see your score immediately. Yeah. But based on my experience before, I need to review. Yeah, because sometimes the grading tool is not that smart, not like human, because it does not allow any small difference. Yeah. Even you enter the right answer, but your format is slightly different. For example, for short answers, if I ask you, how many comparisons do you need to solve this particular problem? Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Many students before, I noticed, for example, if the correct answer is 3. So from my side, I put answer 3. I only put this number 3 inside. Then many students write 3 comparisons. 3 comparisons. Add that word, comparisons. Then the Canvas grading treat it as a wrong answer. Yeah. But in my review, I need to review, okay, after you submit. So then I need to go through all of your questions, answers. When I see that those things, I will give you points back. Okay? Yeah. Give you the points back. Yeah. Yeah. So that will happen. Yeah. 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 So you do not, if you need to enter answers, do not write, only write numbers, okay? Do not write words. Only write numerical values. Don't write any word, okay? When you write, yeah, because my answer, I only put numbers, okay? Yeah, but I will review, yeah. Try to correct any possible mistakes, yeah. All right, yeah. Another thing, I will do these quizzes. I try to reduce your workload. Yeah. I try to find some way to reduce your workload. Yeah. Then I may merge 2 assignments. Yeah. So what do I do? So let me give you some example. All right. For example, for midterm we have part A and part B, right? Yeah. So our midterm test. Midterm, we have part A, part B, and we will separate part A, part B. Part A, concept questions, it's a quiz format. Yeah. So I combine it with one of the 6 quizzes. One of the 6 quizzes. Yeah. For example, so usually I combine with quiz, let's say quiz 4. Okay? Yeah. Part A equals quiz 4. Yeah. Yeah. So what does that mean? One assignment quiz 4 is counted twice. Once for one of the 6 quizzes. Another also counted as part A of the midterm. Yeah. One assignment, we count it twice. Yeah. That means we reduce one quiz workload, right? Yeah. You do not need to do 2 quizzes. Just do one, yeah, but count it twice. Okay? Yeah. So that's the midterm. Yeah. Homework assignment number 2, we will do that. Homework assignment number 2, we split part A, part B, right? Part A of homework assignment number 2, the same as quiz 5, for example. Same as quiz 5, okay? Yeah. So 2A, the same as quiz 5. Another combination, all right? Yeah. Another, workload reduction. Yeah. And the final A, we split final A. Final A equals quiz 6. Another reduction. Okay? Another reduction. Yeah.
So when I would take the final, I'd be taking quiz 6 at the same time. So how it's working, where you take the quiz 6 first, and that just counts towards the final.
Count towards the final. Yeah, not the same time. Okay. Not the same time. In the 2-hour time in this classroom, you only work on part B. 15 questions of part B, not part A. Part A you do at home. Just do it under quiz 6. Quiz 6, assigned, online. You do it online, at home. Okay? Yeah, save you some precious classroom time. Yeah. Because even complete 15 questions in 2 hours, that's not easy. That's very hard. 15 questions. Yeah. But 12 basic questions. Yeah. Last 3 challenging questions, that part pretty hard. Yeah. 12 basic questions should not be that hard. But you still need to do a lot of non-trivial, sometimes creative work you need to do. Okay. So,
question: how does that work for the 2 dropped quizzes? Like if quiz 6 is supposed to be my final quiz.
don't worry, I disconnect them. Okay. When I drop, yeah. So I understand your question. Yeah. Because you don't want to drop part A of final, right? Yeah. So don't worry. I do this way. After you complete quiz 6, I copy your score. 2 columns, right? 1 quiz 6, one I change title. Part A of final. Okay? Part A of final, we fix it. Whatever it is, it's there. But column quiz 6, you have 6 columns of fixed scores. I select whatever it is. I select 2 lowest scores. I set to 0. Yeah? Detached. After I copied 2 columns, then detached. When I change if quiz 6 score to 0, your part A of final does not change because 2 separate columns. No change.
So ideally, we want quiz 4, 5, and 6 to be our highest scores.
Yes, yeah. That would be ideal situation. Yeah. Because counting twice, right? When you have high scores, you make use of the high scores in a maximum way, right? Yeah. Yeah. You maximize your highest scores. Yeah.
Is it possible to use quiz 1 score in midterm part A?
No.
It's only quiz 4.
Yeah. Only quiz 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Only quiz 4. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty much. I need to go a little faster. All right. Next slide. Programming projects. 2 programming projects. Yeah. And each one, I want to give you plenty of time, each one. So usually, duration of each one, I will give you more than 4 weeks. More than 4 weeks. Okay. And the project not very hard. Yeah. The project, yeah, not too hard. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So 4 weeks, I think no problem. We can complete. Yeah. Not that hard. Yeah. All right. Each project 14%. Yeah. Then attendance 2%. Yeah. So this semester, I will, run this attendance in a special way. Yeah. So what special way? Yeah, it's 2%. Classroom attendance. Yeah. So today, attendance, classroom, the usual regular attendance. Yeah. So I check your name, yeah, so you get it. But I also allow some other types of attendance. Yeah. Make it more flexible in case if you miss, due to any reason, you miss some of the classes, you can get attendance back with our special policy. Yeah. So the second type, Zoom attendance. Zoom, because here I use Zoom to project my lectures. Yeah. And I put my Zoom ID in the syllabus. Yeah. You can find it easily. Yeah. My Zoom ID. No password. Yeah. So that means if some students, if for some days, for example, got sick, yeah, couldn't come to the classroom, you can connect to our lecture at home. Yeah. Yeah. So using Zoom, connect. So when I call your names, doing attendance check, you answer, you give me response, I can check your name at the same time. That's the Zoom attendance, the same thing as the classroom attendance. Then the third one, because each lecture I will post a video. Yeah, some students, you can watch the video later, yeah, at your convenient time. Yeah. After you watch the video, I can also give you attendance. Okay, so we call it video attendance. Yeah. To manage the video attendance, in the Canvas module part, I post a discussion board, a Canvas discussion board. Okay, yeah. So you can, those students who missed classroom or Zoom attendance after you watch the video, okay, yeah, you can claim your video attendance. Post a message. Yeah. Yeah. Confirm you have watched the video. Then I can give you attendance. Mark your name. Yeah. All right. So these three types of attendance. Yeah. So the goal is, I hope nobody miss any lecture. Yeah. Nobody miss any lecture. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Any questions? Then some extra credit chances. One is online evaluation, up to 1%. Yeah. So what's that up to 1%? Yeah. Yeah. Because in Canvas I can see the percentage. Yeah. So how many of you complete online evaluation near the end of the semester? I can see the percentage, 80%, 70%. Okay. All right. So our goal, we set 80% is that line. Okay, we target 80% of the line. Okay, if the percentage of the whole class I will post that percentage number. Okay. Yeah. When we near the deadline of the online evaluation, I will, every day I will post current percentage of the whole class. If the whole class pass this 80% line, you get a full 1% extra credit. Okay? If below 80% line, then whatever the percentage number is, you get that percentage number. Okay? For example, if you get 70%, below 80%, then you get a 0.7 extra credit. Okay? Yeah. So that's the, online evaluation, the policy. Okay? Yeah. Try to pass this 80% line. Yeah. Try our best. Yeah. Okay? All right. And then, early project submission, I set how early? I set 1 week. 1 week before the deadline. So that's the early submission. You can earn a little extra credit before the deadline. Okay? If you can submit it 1 full week before the deadline, but make sure you complete all the features. Okay? Because some students before, in order to earn the extra credit, they miss a few key features, a few important features. Then you are not qualified. Okay? So, make sure you complete all the features before you submit it. Question?
Is that 1% per project or overall?
1% overall. Okay? 1% overall. Actually, 1% overall. 1 point. One final, 100%, right? That 1%. 1% of the final 100%. That's quite a lot, right? Quite significant. Encourage you, do as early as possible.
But both projects have to be submitted.
Both projects. Okay? If less than 1 week, then I take fraction. Okay? If you're 3 days ahead of the deadline, you get a 3/7%. 3/7. Okay? Number of days. 1 day, 1/7. Right? All right. Things like that. Encourage. Not last minute. Okay. Students work on the last minute. All right. So that's pretty much I want to explain about the syllabus. All right. Any questions? Okay. So we will follow this plan. Okay. All right. Next, let's start our normal lecture. One thing before we go there, the way of posting notes. Regarding how do I post the notes? Before the class, I post the PDF file of the notes. So let you see the content if you want to see. So what is covered? So that's before the lecture. But after lecture, I need to post some important files. So I call it post lecture file. Okay. So actually, this part I use the module number and the part number. Okay, module number and the part number. Okay, So it is a zip file. Okay, because it contains several files. So I put it in a zip file. Okay. Yeah. So inside this zip file, there is the, PPT format, PPT, okay, file of our notes. Yeah. So if you want to look at the original PPT file I used in class, yeah. So that's the one. And PDF, another one, PDF annotation file. Yeah, because I do a lot of annotations on my slides. So at the end, I save it as PDF file. So I also give my annotation files. So you can get a lot of details in those annotation files. And sometimes you have more than one annotation file, yeah, because sometimes we cannot complete part B, we need to complete part B first. So we have annotation file for part B. Then we start part C. So we have another annotation file for part C. So you have two annotation files. Yeah. All right. Then video. Yeah. I need a video file. Right. Video file is in the HTML format. HTML file containing the YouTube links, yeah, because I post my videos in my YouTube channel. Okay, so I include the YouTube links of the videos. Yeah. Yeah. And another thing, so this semester I plan to do is another thing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because why links means more than one video, right? Yeah, actually our lecture with one video is enough. Yeah. But I may add some extra videos sometime. Yeah. Think about, for each class, I need to do attendance check. I need a few minutes. Okay? Then I may need to explain something. When I record a video, I may lose usually about 10 minutes. Yeah. Because the total amount of time for one class, 75 minutes, right? Yeah. Because when I do something here and there, I may lose 10 minutes. Yeah. It's very common. Yeah. Then that means each class I lose 10 minutes. That's quite a lot, right? Yeah. So this semester I try to, get it back. Try to, recover those 10 minutes. No. So I use this way. No. Sometimes in class, at some places, when I do explanation, yeah, it's pretty much routine, yeah, because sometimes when we solve some problem, yeah, we do some work, it's pretty much the standard work, okay? Then I may skip, yeah. Standard work I skip. If I skip that part, then after the class, I will recover. I will use the, about 10 minutes to recover that standard part. Standard part, many students, you do not need to watch my video, you can complete. Okay? Yeah. Standard work. Okay? Yeah. All right. So, but if you want to look at the details, you can watch my video. Yeah. So that's the plan. Yeah. So I call that part further explanation part. Further explanation part. Yeah. Yeah. Some part, yeah. So not very hard. If it's hard, I will explain in class. Some part, not very hard. Yeah. So I believe most of you can figure out. Yeah. 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 But so I put in a further explanation. Yeah. After the class, so I can get 10 minutes back. I do not need to use my class time, my precious class time. Yeah. Try to recover those 10 minutes. Yeah. So that's something I want to try first time this semester. Yeah. I haven't used it before. Yeah. Yeah. The first time, I try to do some experiment. Yeah. See how it works. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So now let's move to our first topic, 8.2, basic procedure of problem solving. All right. Yeah. So let's use the remaining time, try to solve one problem, not too hard, yeah, but I try to explain several important aspects in problem solving. Yeah, give you some idea. Yeah. So what you should expect in this class related to problem solving, because this algorithm class, most part we will do solving computing problems. The problem solving part. Yeah. So you need to develop your problem solving skills on computing problems for this class. All right, so let's look at the problem solving. The first question, this chessboard question. Yeah. Standard chessboard, 8 by 8. Standard chessboard. Okay, all right. Now, question, you need to do the counting. Count number of squares of different sizes. Yeah. Try to understand this part. Different sizes. Yeah. The squares, you should, along the grid. Yeah. 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 How do you determine squares? Use the given grid to determine the. You can find many different the squares of different sizes. For example, this is one square here, right? Yeah. Then you have this is another square. Okay? Yeah. You can find many the squares of different sizes. Different sizes, all those different sizes. Now, you need to find a way to calculate the total number of squares of all the possible sizes. That's the question. Problem solving. Now, we need to work on this problem. Okay, yeah. Let's do analysis. Reduce?
Can you reuse the same squares?
Reuse. Yeah. Yeah, reuse. Yeah. Because this square, you use this unit square, you use here, but when you do part of another square. Yeah? No problem? Yeah. Not, so overlapping is allowed. Yeah. Overlapping is allowed. Yeah. Okay? All right. Now, let's do the problem solving here. Yeah. We treat it as a computing problem. Okay? Yeah. The definition of our very general. It's a computing problem. Yeah. All right. And in a computing problem, we need to do data processing here. We need to process the given data. Yeah. Yeah. Do data processing. Okay. How to do the data processing? Yeah. First, we need to understand our data. What is the data? The given data, we need to understand. Yeah. Yeah. The chessboard, the information, the square, yeah. Given data. Okay. Yeah. All right. Squares in all different sizes. That's the given data. Yeah. So we need to work on the given data. All right? Yeah. Next question. How to identify all the squares? Yeah. That's an important step. Because you need to find a good way to describe each square. Find a convenient way to describe each square. Yeah. This step is important. Okay? Yeah. 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 How to describe this square? Okay? Yeah. You can see it. It's right there. But how do you identify it? The location. How do you tell me its location? Its size, its exact location. That's important. Yeah. If you tell me just one by one, I do not know where is this one by one square. Right? Yeah. Yeah. So, what is some convenient way? Yeah. Second row. Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. Second column, second row. Yeah. Yeah. One way to identify a square, right? But here, because we use two horizontal lines and two vertical lines with same distance. Yeah, so here, this one, two horizontal lines. Yeah, this, two vertical lines. Total 4 lines. So this square is located using these 4 lines, but we make sure the distance between two vertical lines is the same of the distance between two horizontal lines. Yeah. Then it's a square. Okay? Yeah. It's a square. Yeah. Why we use this way? Because when we use this way, when we do the counting, then we can use this special structure to help us do the counting. Do the counting. Okay? Yeah. All right. Next step. Yeah. Critical step. All right. How to manipulate the data efficiently. Another important question in problem solving. So now we understand our data. Okay? All right. But the question, when we do the counting, our goal, do the counting, when we do it, currently in our mind, it looks pretty messy, right? Yeah. How can we count all the squares without missing anyone? Without missing anyone. Okay? Yeah. And also, we do not want to count the same square twice, right? Each square you can only count once. You cannot count it a second time. So the question, how do you keep track of all the squares? How do you keep track of your data? That question is important in problem solving. Keep track of your data. Now the data looks pretty messy, right? Yeah. Randomly distributed in a random way. Okay? So what's the next step? You want to make your data not in that random way, okay? In a well-organized way. How can you organize your data in a convenient way for you, for us? Okay? That step is critical. All right. Arrange the data in a well-organized way. All right. Another important step in problem solving. All right. how to organize the data. Right. Here, the method characterize the data in the suitable categories. Here, we need to find appropriate categories to separate our data. Important step. How do you organize, right? Yeah, this is the specific way we organize our data. All right, so that the data in the same category shares the same property. Yeah. Because right now it is not organized well. Then when we do the counting, very messy. Very messy. It's hard to keep track of the data. So we need to do some critical work here. Yeah. So what's that? What are the categories? Appropriate categories, yeah, to make the data not in that random way. Okay. Yeah. Right? Yeah. We use sizes of the squares. Can you use the sizes of the squares to characterize our data? Sizes. Yes, that's the way. Okay. Specifically, can you, so data, so the squares of size 1 by 1, can we put all the squares with the size 1 by 1 in the first category? All the squares with the size 2 by 2 in the second category, and so on. 3 by 3, okay? 4 by 4, until 8 by 8. Is that a good way to organize our data? Yeah. Because if we organize our data in this way, it won't be messy anymore, right? Yeah. So we can treat it as well-organized way. So this is a well-organized way. All right, yeah. Okay. Then we move to next step. Now, we define appropriate categories here. Then, after this step, next we need to do the counting. When you do the counting, let's do the counting in each category. Category 1, how many squares? Category 2, how many? And so on. Yeah. Yeah. So now, for each category, the counting is very easy. Very easy. All right. Let's do the main work here. How to do the counting. Squares in various sizes. So let's do a chart here. Yeah. The first column, let's list all the sizes. Yeah. Yeah. We have 8 categories, 8 sizes, 8 different sizes. All right. The counting number. I heard some students give 64. Yeah. Number of squares, 8 times 8. 64. Easy. All right. Then the next one may not be that easy. How many 2 by 2 squares? Good, good. So do you agree? Other students, they say 7 times 7. Do you agree? Yeah. Here, let me point it out. Why 7? Yeah. When we look at the 2 by 2 squares, let's look at in 2 directions, horizontal direction, vertical direction. Horizontal direction, the length is 2. Vertical direction, the length also 2. So we separate these two directions. All right. Horizontal direction, let's look at how many total different horizontal. Length 2 line segments. Length 2 line segments along the grid lines. Grid. First one, length 2 line segment. Second one, line 2 segment. Third one, right? Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Vertically, same thing. Same way of counting vertically. So 7 times 7. 7 times 7. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Because before, some students count in this way. Yeah. Yeah. Before, some students count this way. 1, 2, 7, 4. They assume no overlapping. But we allow overlapping, right? Yeah. Because those students put restriction in their mind that so you miss several possible cases. Yeah. All right? Yeah. Good. Then, in this way, 3 by 3, how many? 6 times 6. Okay? Yeah. 4 by 4. Yeah. 5 times 5. Yeah. There. Yeah. You find the rule. Yeah. You can see. You can observe the rule. All right. Now, at this point, there is another important step in problem solving. Look at the data in these two columns. We want to find relationship. In this relationship, try to observe some interesting property. Look at the data in these two columns. Can you find some interesting property? All right. This another important step. Observe a rule here. Size, number of squares. Size, we use notation m by n. Yeah? Variable, m is a variable, m by n. Right. Then the number of squares, we use another variable, n by n. Another variable, n. Okay? All right. What is the relationship between m and n? Based on your observation. Any special property connecting these two variables, m and n? Interesting property. What is the relationship between m and n? Add them together, you get a special number, right? Yeah. Here it is 9. If you add up m number and n number, you always, for all 8 rows, you get the same 9 number, right? Yeah. That's the property. Same 9 number. This 9 is a special number. It does not change when you go through all the 8 rows. All 8 categories. This number never changes. So we use a special concept to call it. This number does not depend on the sizes and the squares. Okay? So we give a special name for this number, invariant. Invariant concept. So we find the invariant quantity in this question.
What if you subtract it and minus n and still have a pattern that would be
So
subtraction pattern?
that's not constant, right? Subtraction, you
But
know,
it would still form a pattern, which means it would
yeah.
go back up.
Yeah. Yeah, still some pattern, but not as good as this one, right?
That's
Yeah.
not it. That one's better.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah, no, that's what I was wondering.
Yes, yeah. Because this property, this invariant quantity, it has a, it can, right, stationary, it can help us do one important thing in problem solving. Keep track of the data. Keep track of the data. No. In a very messy collection of data, you have a special way to keep track of the data. Yeah, let me show you. Yeah. So, all right, I still have a few minutes. Yeah, let me show you that part. Okay, how to keep track of the data. All right. The role of this invariant. Okay, the invariant usually provides critical property of a problem. So what's that? Invariant property can help us keep track of the data. Now, let me use one simple example to show you how to keep track of the data. All right. Here, let me use an example. Let's consider 100 by 100 chessboard. A generalized, extended chessboard. You just imagine there is a large 100 by 100 grid chessboard. Okay? Yeah, extended. All right. Then we consider the similar problem, squares of different sizes in this big chessboard. Okay? All right. Now, how many squares are of the size 37 by 37? Only this size. Yeah. We only want to count the number of squares of this size, 37 by 37. Not easy one. Not easy? Yeah. 64 by 64. He knows how to do it.
Say that.
Yeah? Yeah. There must be some smart trick here, right? Yeah. There must be some smart thing. Invariant. In this different chessboard, what is that invariant number? M plus n. What's that number? M plus n. M plus n. What's that number? The size number plus 1. Because our previous question, the size number is 8, but our invariant is 9. So the invariant is the size number plus 1. And here, the invariant should be the size number plus 1, 101. 101. Now, n, now you need to know n, 101 minus this 37, 64 times 64. That's the way this invariant concept helps us to keep track of the data. That's the way to keep track of the data, right? Otherwise, how do you know 64 times 64? Without using that invariant quantity. Think about that. Okay? Yeah? Yeah. So that's the reason. This invariant property is very important. Yeah, in problem solving. Yeah. It's not easy to find it, but it's important. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Next, we need to find the solution. Yeah. So before we finish the class, we need to find the answer, final answer. All right. Complete the computation work. Yeah. Expression, number of squares. Now, we add up all the counting numbers from all the categories. Okay, all right? Yeah. Yeah. 1 square plus 2 squared plus the consecutive square numbers. We add up these 8 consecutive square numbers. Okay, yeah? Okay, yeah. So you can, add it up. Yeah. But there is a formula. Okay. Yeah. When we do the summation of consecutive squares, there is a formula we can use. Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, think about if I ask you to count the number of different number of squares of different sizes in our 100 by 100 chessboard. You don't want to, manually do the calculation, right? 1 square, 2 square, all the way through 100 squares. Too much time, right? Yeah. Tedious work. Not efficient. It's not efficient. Yeah. Right? Think about that. Not efficient. So we want to apply the summation formula. Yeah, in this situation, we want to apply summation formula. All right. Yeah. All right. The general case, we consider general case, n by n chessboard. N by n chessboard. Do summation, 1 square plus 2 square, all the way through n square. Yeah. In our discrete math, there is formula for this. Discrete math. Okay? Yeah. Summation formula. 1/6 times n plus 1 times 2n plus 1. That's the formula. Yeah, we apply this formula. We apply this formula. Plug in. Okay? Yeah. N equals 100. You plug in. You can find the answer quickly. Okay? Yeah. If you do not know this formula, yeah, some students may need to write a program. Okay? Summation, 1 square, for loop. Yeah. Yeah. But here, the formula was better than the programming way, right? Programming, you still need to write a program. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Time is up. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. So let's stop right here. Yeah. That's the end. So we finish part 8.